Right, you're still on to Good Morning Nigeria on the network service of the NTA. Up next for us is a newspaper review.
We've got Chukudi Okoli-Ugbaja right here with us this morning. Chukudi,
hello.
Good to see you. Good morning.
How are you doing? Good morning.
Very well.
The sleep we have these nights, okay, 2 nights I should say now, they are somewhat near what the human level can tolerate, you know.
I'm not sure I can relate.
Like it's colder, like the heat is.
It's colder, that's the point I'm making.
I'm not sure I can relate.
You can't relate?
No, I can't.
Oh, you're Mr. Heat lover?
I'm not sure I can relate with a better night. I don't know.
Because you've not been having nights, I guess.
Well, I don't know.
Good morning, Victor.
Good morning.
How are you?
All right, let's see what the papers have. I'll begin with the leadership this morning. To lead us with the headlines we have on the front pages of the news papers. The lead story here says ambassadorial list. Experts raise concern over delayed posting. Riders, it's dangerous to leave foreign missions vacant, and that's credited to ex-envoys. Say delay affecting foreign investments, national interests. It's the prerogative of Mr. President. All right, that's the lead story here. Away from that, we have this one, not a good one. It says electricity tariff may rise as FG raises gas price for Gencos. All right, page 7 has all the details. I'm sure a lot of people don't want to read that story at this point in time. But away from that, we have fraudsters now exploit QR codes. Neither once. Below that story, very terrible one that happened yesterday. The crash, FRSC orders probe as 13 die in Kogi multiple crash. Very, very sad development there. Page 7 has all the details. Below that story, we are waiting reports on looting of Kirby palliatives and credited to the police. Low crude output, Nigeria losing oil buyers to the U.S. So that's on page 25. And then at the top of the masthead, we have Tinubu to attend inauguration of Senegal's president-elect. And, of course, you want to say congratulations to Basiru Faye, who will be sworn in soon. Looking at the Vanguard now, we have banks need 4.7 trillion naira to scale CBN's new capital hurdle. Riders, no bank qualifies under new guidelines. ETI, Zenith, Axis, First Bank lead in eligible capital. 7 qualify by adding retained earnings. No need to panic, and that's according to ACAMB. Above the masthead, VP Shetima, CBN Governor Cardoso, Ayo, Teriba, headline 2024 Vanguard Economic Summit. And we have Labour Party crisis. Abure rejected Peter Obi's advice for all-inclusive convention. And that's according to Obidati spokesman. So much Higi Haga in the Labour Party there. You want to find out what's the latest. Away from that, we have Edo Guba, Chairman, Group Baker over Accord Party's candidate. Page 7 has all the news. Below that story, we have Uni Loring expels 19 students for exam fraud, racketeering. You want to see page 30. And yes, we have this one here. Non-teaching staff are spitting fire. And the headline says, withheld salaries. We will shut down universities if. You want to find out the concluding part of that statement. Page 8 will guide you. And we have this one. A lot of Nigerians have hailed this move by Air Peace. It says London maiden flight. How we fought restriction of Air Peace return flight to rejected part of MMIA. That's according to Onyema. And a bit on sports, 2024 Olympics, only 2 Nigerians capable of winning medals. And that's according to Igali. These are some of the stories on the front page of the Vanguard.
All right, and that brings us to the Nigerian pilot. which leads with the screaming headline, Black Easter. It has 4 riders as 13 died, 2 others injured in Kogi auto crash. FRSC says incident occurred when truck ran into an 18-seater bus. Reveals that it went into flames and burnt virtually all passengers on board. Finally, victims might be given mass burial as hospitals in Kogi refuse to accept corpses. That story is on page 4. And then just above that and below the masthead, Governor Diri, Bielsa programs targeting long-term empowerment to people. That's on page 22. Drama, confusion at Kogi Goba Election Tribunal. That's on page 6. And at the bottom of the Nigerian pilot, you are illegal assembly members. PDP tells her 27 defected lawmakers. You want more on that story, you get it on page 4 of the Nigerian pilot. And then we are lobbying FG to secure Nnamdi Kanu's release. That's according to Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu. APC cautions Ondo Guba aspirants against unguarded utterances. That's on page 12. With Ganduje as chairman, APC will never know peace. That's according to Nabena. Our anti-graft war will spare no one, EFCC boss assures. Air Peace direct flight to London, success in aviation industry. That's according to Senator Ifeanyi Ubah. And finally, Edo to host Nigeria's largest coated calcium carbonate processing plant. That story can be found on page 5. Chukwudi.
Let me start from the grassroots. I always like it when a story is taken from the hinterland. It concerns the rabble, where most of Nigerians are. Bush burning triggers health disorders in Bielsa. Careless handling of fire in this country is something that we should criticize, actually condemn vociferously. We don't think that destroying nature is anything anyone should be, alarmed about. But apart from, we were talking about heat now. Victor, Yere, I follow the weather, the climate year in, year out. I want to say that this year has been the hottest for me in Abuja since I came in here.
I agree.
41 degrees Celsius. I saw that for 3 days running. So we're depleting the ozone layer by the bush burning that is happening. That's on the global scale. But in the immediate, you're not helping asthma patients. I mean, people who suffer from things that get escalated when they inhale toxic things. So we have to become more eco-conscious. We don't seem to care. I was looking at the countries that deplete the environment, the forests, more than any other person in the world. After counting some Asian countries, Nigeria was counted. Yes. And they said China and the US are the two that are more friendly to forests and all that. But then they are also the biggest polluters, 2 biggest polluters. So the equation has balanced out somewhere, But coming back to us, there are so many things we are ignoring in this country to the detriment of future generations. The other time I said, the desert keeps on approaching, moving towards the south more and more. And there is no conscious program to replant. Tree planting, you don't hear about it here. We tend to wait for when it is too late before we act. Nature is crying out. Man has to learn to stop depleting those resources that retain, nature.
From what you said, that we do not care about the environment. Maybe that's why bush burning is still going on and all of that. I don't want to say that it's just because we do not care alone. Let's say enough knowledge or information, to certain people could also be a limitation, or could also be responsible for what you're saying. Because how many people understand what's happening, climate change and all? I mean, go to the hinterland. You say you're starting from the grassroots. Do they know what is happening? Do they know that the heat that we're experiencing? Do they know that the reason why the farmlands are no longer as productive as they should be as a result of the effects of climate change? Some people do not really know. So again, there's need for more awareness. And then again, outside awareness, outside care, you want to look at the economy. You know, some people are not felling the trees because they just want to. Some earn a living from it. Okay, some are in the business of selling firewood, selling charcoal. Some have to cook with it and all of that. So we need to look at all these factors.
That's about cutting down trees, not bush burning.
Bush burning, cutting down trees, I mean, they are related, you know, because again, if you're burning down the bush or burning down the trees, maybe because you want to get charcoal from it and all of that. So, and then if you're burning down the bush, there are trees there too. So it's all, you know, wrapped in one. So I think that it's important that, you know, we send the message across. And then if it's just bush burning for the sake of farming and all of that, are there other ways they could do this thing that is cheaper for them?
Yeah,
for the farmers. So there's need to make all these options available.
Is it about being cheaper or being healthier?
Healthier.
Your palliatives are not ones we want to reject. But the way your explanation tends to make a moron of everyone in the hinterland there. Do I need to tell a villager that burning the bush is not the best thing? They know. I grew up in the hinterland, on the farm path really. They know. Actually, what I get to hear there, which I cannot verify, is that many of the bushfires you see during the dry season are actually ignited by herdsmen, because they want fresh grass to grow from the soil so that they can feed fodder to the cows. I am not there to verify this, but I'm telling you what they allege. So we have to move in and tell people that certain things should be guarded against. That is what I think. Victor, you were saying something.
Well, I'm not sure that sounds very plausible, because from what I understand, the herdsmen live for now. They want to feed the grass. Now. Not to now go and cultivate.
Yeah, exactly.
Not to go and cultivate, burn, and then wait for it to grow.
It's a vicious.
I'm not sure.
The whole thing is all wrapped in. You know, I mean, it's just something that we need to look at as a people and find a way to solve. You know, the problem. It's, you know, like I tried to mention, talking about trees, where we have trees depleting, our forests are, you know, are getting thinner by the day. You know, people still having to resort to using charcoal and using fire. I mean, the factors.
In fact, people burn it for security reasons these days. When you go through all that Kogi axis on the road, because they allege that criminals hide in those bushes and then just show up to waylay buses and all of that. Only yesterday, someone was telling me, someone traveled, you know, by road, and was telling me that, you know, they passed a vehicle that had only a baby at the middle of the road. And so they realized that
possible they could have been
kidnapping had just occurred. Kidnapping had just occurred along the road between Abuja and Uromi, I think. And so they burn it for security, to open the place.
In what century?
To burn the place, to open the place so that you don't hide.
That's another dimension to the matter.
So that you don't hide.
On a note that is quite encouraging to us, Daily Trust is saying that goods worth about 1.9 trillion naira left Nigeria for the Netherlands, making it the highest importer of Nigerian goods in the fourth quarter of 2023. Why am I bringing this up? Apart from bringing us, you know, scarce foreign exchange and all that, we are moving into an era when there is no traditional big business person with Nigeria, nation with Nigeria. Every country of the world has the potential to trade with us. Netherlands, just look at that. I think it's something that the Nigerian authorities need to push more and more. Let us tell the big the nations of Europe that they are not only the people we can trade with, you know. Even Netherlands is giving us up to 1.9 trillion naira in the fourth quarter. We're talking about one quarter now of 2023. It is something that needs to be pursued. Nigeria is a great basket of goodies. How we harness what God has given us, nature has given us, is usually what is in contention.
Indeed. And Chukwudi, I'm surprised you haven't taken a look at this. It's both grassroots and all what you can think about it. Black Easter. Black Easter. And it's the major story here.
Yes.
13 dead, 2 others injured in Kogi auto crash. FRSC says incident occurred when truck ran into an 18-seater bus.
Victor.
And it went into flames.
Victor, I am overwhelmed by morbidity in this country. I have to confess. The amount of deaths we get, the volume of deaths we get to hear from day to day in this country is beginning to worry me. And sometimes you also do not want to sadden the environment with news like that. I saw it, of course. But again, I would add quickly that because the lives of our fellow men were involved, it is something we have to talk about and insist on more road safety. May their souls rest in perfect peace.
I understand feelers are that, brake failure led to it.
There are so many things lead to so many things in this country. Lack of supervision is part of it. Then carelessness on our side. We don't seem to care about certain things that matter to the human
managing
essence.
A vehicle.
Managing a vehicle.
This brake pad don't they chop?
Exactly.
Tomorrow.
Yes. I was almost guilty.
Presence of mind while on the road is also another issue.
A presence of mind while on the road. I hope Nyere is not trying to tell us that, thinking about school fees that loom next week could remove your mind from the steering.
Of course it can.
It's a fact of life in this country.
It can.
So we need to check the minds and heads of people before they get behind the steering wheel.
Exactly.
Indeed. And now we want to usher you to your own steering wheel.
Yeah, I know.
Right behind it.
I know.
That's after you go out,
Kick me out as
are you
usual.
saying that he should go for the check too?
Kick me out as usual, but I will survive.
Checking of course, we'll see you again tomorrow.
Have
Many
a nice day,
thanks.
ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get into our discussion on the recapitalization of banks. Stay with us.